Hi, I'm Alex, and I'm going to review the Hero Rush in Central Florida, right? That was November 3rd, 2012, here in Central Florida at Ocala State Park. I don't really know the correct pronunciation. It's one of those. Okay, how's that? Because I'm not a Florida native, okay? I'm not an Ocala native. Tomato. So, you pick whichever one you like. Anyway, it was November 3rd. It was a Saturday. And I did the 12:30 wave, which is a commemorative wave. Actually, I was supposed to do the 12:30 wave, but I had to work that day, so I didn't get there until a little after 12:30. And so actually, I ran at 1. And I actually think that happened to a lot of people. It was an hour and a half away from Tampa, so about 80 something miles. But with traffic and everything, it ended up being about an hour and a half. So got there a little bit late. Was not a big deal. Got registered, got my packet, went in, and so the 3:43 wave, which is generally 12:30, in my case 1 p.m. wave, and I did it with my good friend Nicole, and it was awesome. And the 3:43 wave is a special commemorative wave that is done in honor of the 343 firefighters that lost their lives on September 11th when they rushed into the buildings to save lives. So it was a great wave, and in that wave, when you register for that wave, a portion of the money they collect for that, $10 of that, goes actually to the Fallen Firefighters Association, and then they match that with another $10. So $20 of basically your entry, which is quite a bit, goes towards that association, which is awesome. Okay, and so you also get, if you do that wave, this on your bib, you get the name of a firefighter that perished that day on 9/11. And you also get a special shirt. This is different than the usual Hero Rush shirt that you get. So it says 343 Way. And then on the back, if I get my hair out of the way, if you can see that, hopefully, I don't know, we'll check it out later. But National Fallen Firefighters Association on the back. Hi, is it for me to say? Two things, sorry. You're going to have to excuse the mess in the background. We're moving in a few weeks, in actually 2 weeks. And so that's why the disaster, I swear, it's not usually like this, I swear. Watch, we'll move to that new place. It'll be exactly the same. You'll be like, I can't tell the difference. And you're like, oh, no, it's never like this. I swear. But, I roll my eyes a lot, too, when I realize, because I don't usually film myself. I know. It's weird. Why wouldn't I? Huh? I don't. And so in watching me do this, I realize I do roll my eyes a lot and I make a lot of funny faces. I'm sorry. I'm not rolling my eyes at you, or I think it's one of those things you're like, let me think about that. You kind of look up and to the left, and so I'm busy thinking really hard. Anyway, you're like, don't think that hard, sweetie. I won't. Okay. Anyway, and here's the medal that you got. It's kind of awesome, isn't it? Ooh, pretty. It's so pretty. It's shiny. I get hypnotized. Anyway, but it's kind of a cool sheen. I know, see my greasy fingerprints all over it. It's I know you can't really tell. It's not really metallic. It's like almost like a black gold kind of. It reminds me a lot of the stone hematite, because it feels actually like it could be hematite. It's heavy like a stone, and then there's this dark, rich color to it. But then some lights, it's got sort of reflects a little gold, reflects a little brown. It's very cool. But it's a great medal. Nice one to add to the collection. Really excited about it. And I've done a few obstacle mud runs, and what I can say about this one is, one, very little mud, and the mud easily bypassable. And by that I mean you're still going to go through maybe water that has muddy areas, but they're not going to directly push you and make you dive into that mud like most mud runs, adventure runs, try to get you as muddy as possible. You know when you finish, and if somebody's not muddy, you're like, hey, what is that? This one was not like that. There was a lot of water, and it was a hot day, so I was really thankful anytime we hit the water. I was like, oh, it feels so amazing. I don't care if they put weird, slushy, hydroponic weirdness in there, and it was icky feeling. It didn't really bother me. Nicole didn't like that much, but it didn't really bother me much. And that was cool. And the other thing that I noticed is that the obstacles in this one were significantly more difficult than I expected, and that I had seen in other mud runs. Obstacles were more challenging than the Warrior Dash. The Dirty Duo. Parts of it reminded me of the Dirty Duo, but there's no biking in this one. But the fact that you were trail running, very similar. And it was staged in the horse park, so that sometimes you were on the equestrian trails, I assume. I don't know. I've seen them on TV though. Um, and to where you have to climb over those. I don't know what they're called, but they're like wood beams that I think the horse jump over, and then sometimes a big pit you'd have to jump over, and then the here's the steeple, here's the house. No, but the steeples, and then you'd have to climb over them, and then you'd have to drag a body, which was 2 rubber tires that were actually pretty heavy, and you'd have to sometimes throw them over a fence or drag them under the barbed wire. But so they were more challenging, and actually a few people that did the Tough Mudder said the obstacles in this were much harder than in the Tough Mudder, which I don't know. I'm doing that one in December. I'll let you know. Next week I'm doing Pretty Muddy. A few weeks ago I did, let me see, where's my bibs? Oh, did the Blueberry Mud Run at Keel and Curly Winery in the Notasassa. And that one, obstacles, a little on the weak side, a lot, very heavy on the mud, very light on the actual obstacles. You were on the honor system for timing. Didn't like that at all. Some people got to you didn't get penalized if you bypassed an obstacle, which really I didn't like, because my feeling is, hey, I came to do obstacles. So, but anyway, getting back to this one, if you were not somebody that had done a lot of obstacles, or it wasn't really your thing, or it was, you might have to bypass a few of these, because they were actually, some were pretty challenging. There was a great one that was so surprising and so hard. It was actually a fire hose. I think it was probably a 3-inch, maybe 4-inch wide fire hose that they had tied in knots, and that they had it up scaffolding that was about 12 feet up, and you had to either climb it up or take the ladder up. And once you got to the top of the ladder, there was another fire hose about the same width that you had to shimmy down. They had ropes tied to it on the side, and then you had to balance your way down. And I was with Nicole, and Nicole's like, I'm gonna do the rope, I can shimmy up that thing like a monkey. And I was like, really? Okay. Seriously, she was not kidding. When she said she was gonna go up that rope, she flew up that rope like it was the easiest thing she'd ever done. I have never climbed a rope before. I attempted it and was like, okay, I'm a disaster. Probably a race is not the best time to try something like that. I mean, I guess you could and see where it takes you. I didn't do well in that one. And then once you got to the top, you had to balance your way down. And I'm watching all these people, and they're nearly flipping upside down on these ropes, because there's really nothing. It's just at an angle, and it's just that fire hose, and they have those 2 ropes on the side. Now you've got to balance your way down. And people were freaking out. They were going so slow on that. I'm thinking, oh gosh, that must be really hard, because I couldn't get up the rope. Yeah, that was easy for me. I'm like, that was mine. Hers was going up it, and mine was going down, because I just flew down that thing. I'm like, it wasn't even difficult. You just had to balance. I do know that anything with balance tends to be play to my strengths. I do really well with balance stuff, and so obviously she does really well with climbing. I was like, wow, that was amazing and impressive, because that was hard. But by the time we got to the end, you were pretty tired. We both got a little beat up. She ripped her shirt on the barbed wire. I ripped my hat on the barbed wire. Great last obstacle. Next to last obstacle was a wet water tower that you had to use rock climbing handholds and footholds, and some cut up 2x4s here and there, and climb up as they shoot water down. Then there were giant tarps, and you slide down into this sort of murky pool. By then it was murky, because it was just largely dirty. And no matter how you went down, I called it the giant neti pot, because even though you go down feet first like this, there's all your body weight, because as you realize this thing is really long, you start picking up speed, and you're going so fast. You hit the water, and it almost turns your leggings into thongs, because you hit the water with so much force. So really, since it can't do that, what it does instead is it takes all that force and shoots it up your nose. And I only hope that there was some saline in that water, so that at least it cleared my sinuses at the same time. So yes, that got nicknamed the giant neti pot. Then at the very last obstacle was a wading pool, and there was, I think they called it the cleaning station, but it was really cute. And it was 6 little kids given the fire hoses, right, that they had on a trigger that they just nailed you with as you got to the end. So that was really cute. And it was a lot of fun. And they had a great obstacle course for little kids. So if you have kids, it's very kid friendly. Great cause, great time, great obstacles. I would definitely do it again. I'm going to do it next year. Hopefully, we'll recruit more people for my boot camp class. But anyway, next week I'll be doing a review of, and hopefully have a video of it, Pretty Muddy. So we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it.